Hello children, welcome to SB Union High School and Junior College. This session we will be learning about Standard 9th, History, Chapter 7, Science and Technology. Let's begin with the introduction. We are going to learn about the important institutions in the areas of science and technology as well as their contribution to the same field. After we were freed from the clutches of the Britishers, that is after our independence, India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, had set up the Indian Atomic Energy Commission on 10th August 1948. Dr. Homi Bhabha was appointed as the first chairman of the commission. To make a start or to have atomic energy in our country, Jawaharlal Nehru had taken this decision, and so finally Indian Atomic Energy Commission was established and Homi Bhabha became the chairperson of this commission. There were certain objectives behind it. What were these objectives? Let's study now. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had a vision behind the establishment of this Indian Atomic Energy Commission to produce electricity from atomic energy, to increase the yields of food grains and make them last longer, set up the technology for achieving this, and develop nanotechnology. So these were some of the objectives why the Indian Atomic Energy Commission was established. To produce electricity, yes, to provide electricity, production was important, and to produce it, this Atomic Energy Commission was going to be useful. Then to increase the crops production, to produce the crops more, as well as to let it live longer, and also the technology for achieving this. So it was also important to develop a technology for achieving these objectives, as well as even nanotechnology was to be developed. So all these objectives were there behind the establishment of this commission. Accordingly, then in 1956, the Department of Atomic Energy set up Apsara, a nuclear reactor functioning on atomic energy. So this was the first step in the field of science and technology by India. Then a reactor research center was also set up at Kalpakam in Tamil Nadu to successfully use thorium for generating atomic power. Then factories manufacturing the heavy water needed for the generation of atomic power was set up at Vadodara, Talcher and Tuticorin, Kota, etc. So children, it was also very important to enhance or to encourage factories manufacturing heavy water, because you know it very well, for industrial purpose water is always needed. So manufacturing heavy water that was needed for the generation of atomic power, these factories were set up, and these were set up at Vadodara, Talcher, Tuticorin, Kota, etc. An institution called Heavy Water Projects. Later on, it was renamed as Heavy Water Board. So this project was also set up to carry out research on manufacturing heavy water within the country. So to make development into the field of science and technology, water was needed. Keeping that view in mind, factories manufacturing heavy water were set up so that these factories could produce more and more heavy water, and that's the reason even heavy water projects were also set up. Later on, this was renamed as Heavy Water Board. So this was the project that was carried over all over the country. Children, we have studied about the nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactor was set up, which was functioning on atomic energy. It was named as Apsara. Later on in 1985, a completely Indian-made nuclear reactor called Dhruva was started at Trombay near Bombay, that is near Mumbai. The Dhruva nuclear reactor uses uranium as fuel, and at this center almost 350 radioactive substances are produced. they are used or they are useful in the field of industry, agriculture as well as medicine. So you can imagine how it was important for India to have such a nuclear reactor which could produce 350 radioactives that are used in different fields in India. So this Dhruva nuclear reactor was set up in India in around 1985. NPCIL, this company was set up in 1987, having the objective of mastering and developing the technology to generate safe, cheap and environmentally profitable power and make the country self-sufficient. What was this company about, children? It was about Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, that is NPCIL. The main objective of this company was to generate electricity from atomic energy. This was the main objective. So to generate electricity from atomic energy, this NPCIL was established, and the objective of this company was to master and develop the technology that would create safe, cheap and environmentally profitable power and also make the country self-sufficient. So it was necessary for our country to create or to generate electricity through atomic energy, and that electricity could be useful for different purposes for our industrial growth. Children, after learning about NPCIL, which actually was set up for generating electricity through atomic energy, we need to learn about nuclear tests also. The then Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, actually felt to have nuclear tests for different purposes. To make our scientific growth, it was necessary to have nuclear tests. So, having the objective of peaceful coexistence, self-sufficiency and using the nuclear energy for constructive purposes, the first successful nuclear test was conducted on 18th May 1974 at Pokhran in Rajasthan. Pokhran was a place far away from human settlement during the tenure of the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. This place was chosen because having these explosives, having these nuclear tests done, the place could be isolated. So for that purpose, Pokhran from Rajasthan, this place was chosen. Increasing China's nuclear capability and Pakistan's desperate efforts to acquire nuclear weapons with China's help was the reason why India took this decision. So no doubt, to have peaceful coexistence, to have self-sufficiency, the use of nuclear energy for constructive purposes, all these things were definitely there. At the same time, even India as a nation at the international level, for us it was necessary to show our nuclear capability, because China's nuclear capability was increasing. China's constant support was given to the neighboring nation Pakistan, and all these things were threatening our border security. So to have border security, also India decided to have these nuclear tests, and at Pokhran in 1974, the first nuclear test got conducted, and it got conducted successfully by India. Dr. Homi Setna, the chairman of the Indian Atomic Energy Commission, and Dr. Raja Ramanna, director of the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, played a major role in conducting these nuclear tests. So when we talk about having nuclear tests conducted in our country, we must remember the names of Dr. Homi Setna, who was the chairman of the Indian Atomic Energy Commission, and Dr. Raja Ramanna, who was the director of Bhabha Atomic Research Center. With their initiative, with their hard work, their themselves and their team's hard work played an important role in the conduction of our nuclear tests in India. Do you know about it, children? That the USA refused to give the technology for defense related fields such as space research, communications, missile development, and as a result India had to take some stern action, and it's been taken by India. India adopted a policy of developing its own missile development program without depending upon the USA. Thus, India joined the USSR, France, China and Germany, who had their own missile programs. So, this is something, children, to have a pride about India, that India always has been very progressive, and looking at the international like politics and all, India has always played an ideal role. So, children, we have learnt about first nuclear test that was conducted in 1974. On 11th May 1998, 3 nuclear tests were performed by India, and one of them was the hydrogen bomb. Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee assured that there would be no first use of nuclear weapons by India, but the USA imposed economic sanctions on India immediately, because at the international level, when the countries like India was constantly striving hard to have such kinds of nuclear tests, not other nations but definitely USA got suspicious about India. So, it imposed economic sanctions over India. Still, the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, being a Prime Minister of India, he assured that even though India is conducting these kinds of nuclear tests, still these nuclear tests and this atomic energy would be utilized only for constructive purposes. So, never ever India would use such technology for destructive purposes. India would never be the first nation to use these nuclear weapons, but still there were economic sanctions imposed on India. Let's study about missile development. Prithvi. Prithvi was a missile, and India successfully tested this missile in 1988 and missile named Agni in 1989. Integrated Guided Missile Development, that is IGMDP, was conceived by and carried out under the leadership of Dr. APJ Kalam. Defense Research and Development Organization, named as DRDO, undertook the task of building the missiles. So, for the first time, India took up the task of building these missiles or developing these missiles, and such kind of completely indigenous missile, a completely indigenously built Indian missile called Prithvi in 1988 and Agni in 1989 were tested. And IGMDP, this organization also was conceived, it was carried forward under the leadership of Dr. APJ Kalam, and DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, also undertook the task of building these missiles. And DRDO started building the missiles. Prithvi 1, a surface to surface ballistic missile, was given to the army. Same way, missile Prithvi 2 was given to the Air Force, while the missile Prithvi 3 was given to the Navy. Prithvi had the capacity to carry nuclear weapons of 500 to 1000 kg. Prithvi could travel a distance of 150 kilometers to 300 kilometers due to the nuclear ballistic missile. So, this way, building up the missiles, this task was taken up by DRDO. Do you know, children? Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO. It was established under the Department of Defense of the Government of India in 1958. The objective of this organization was to make India self-sufficient with respect to means, equipment and weapons required for defense. This organization developed several missiles under the leadership of Dr. APJ Kalam in 1983. Dr. Kalam has made a great contribution in the production of these missiles. That's the reason Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is known as the father of India's missile program. He is also referred to as the Missile Man of India. So children, you must be aware about this information also. And children, in the next video session, we will continue learning the remaining chapter. Till then, thank you. Take care of yourself.